Modern technology. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashtanade Shadayine Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadavayam Kadati Swapadamikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Jugapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathambitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Rapta Kanchana Gauraki Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishnamanu Devi Pranamami Hari Vanchakataranyascha Kripasinduvyeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Is there anything we can do? Why it's not working?
I think the background noise was causing an issue. I set it as Maharaj.
Okay. As long as Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the background, then there is no problem.
It was trying to auto-cut that because of the noise reduction. So I removed that.
So it's now it's okay? According, you connected to the Zoom also. Yeah. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
So this morning we had a nice darshan of Shri Radha Golokananda. We were there for the Tulsi Artik and also the Bhagavatam class this morning. How many of you attended the Bhagavatam class in Zoom? How many of you have the opportunity, if you have the time, to attend the Zoom every morning? You don't have time? What do? You're busy, right? Like going to work maybe? Or doing your artik at home also? Or you can do your artik while listening to the Bhagavatam class. This is part of our morning program, part of our sadhana. Srila Prabhupada says we should hear the Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Actually, the heart of the morning program is not the prasadam time. It is the Srimad Bhagavatam class. And your Srimad Bhagavatam class here is very unique. It caters for those especially who goes to work, which most of you, I believe, go to work. Yeah, how many of you go to work every day?
Work from home included.
Huh?
Work from home included.
Work from home included. So how about the Matajis? You work also? Very good. So maybe on the way to work, you can listen to the morning program at the temple. Take this opportunity because it is very rare that we can always have that association of the devotees. A very powerful morning program. It's like many devotees, grihastas, they have deities at home. So they also do Mangal Artik. It's a different standard than the temple, of course. Home standard is a little bit more lenient. Some of the grihastas perform their Mangal Artik at 5 o'clock. I know some devotees, they do also at 4:30. And some of them, they dress the deities. They do Abhishek every day also. Even do grihastas. Not only every Ekadasis. If you're doing every Ekadasis, that is good. At least that is every 2 weeks in a month. Or if you want to go a little bit, jack it up a little bit, you can do it every week, every weekends. Yeah? Don't be just going the same. A devotee is not satisfied doing the same thing all the time. He wants to increase his seva for the Lord and for the devotees. So in this way we will make advancement. I know some, they only do it once a month. But, the deities reciprocate accordingly to how we treat them. As Prabhupada says, if you treat them like made of metal and wood only, then the deities will reciprocate accordingly. That's why at the temple, the Mahaprasad is so powerful. When you come to the mandir, almost everyone will ask, where's the Mahaprasad? Because the potency of the Mahaprasad at the temple and the bhoga that you offer at home is not the same. Correct?
Correct.
Because the temple, we do 6 times of offerings and the regular service is there. So if you want to make further advancement in Krishna consciousness, and Grihastas are advised to worship the deities, especially Gauritai. They're very merciful. There is no offense committed while performing Gaura Nitai Seva. They are very merciful. Srila Prabhupada says, even in Mayapur, when you sleep, it's like offering dandavats in Mayapur. And even Prabhupada says that he commissioned Dhananjay Prabhu, devotee who joined in London in the early days, and along with his wife, to produce Gauritai deities like dolls, like children, like playing dolls, and they can be sold in the market. Even a meat eater can worship Gauritai, and Gauritai will not take any offense. Prabhupada says, of course, once you start learning that you have to follow all these regulative principles, then you should avoid all of those sinful activities. So, this morning was very wonderful darshan of Sisirada Golokananda, and it's very sweet. When I entered the temple, I felt like at home. The worship is so wonderful. So how many of you goes to the mandir except Sundays? Good. Whenever you have the time, please do so. The more you come to the mandir, because if you don't come, then the deities will ask, where is my devotee? Looking for you.
Maharaj, a lot of the householders here cook for Radha Govinda.
Yeah.
A lot of them go all the way and they dress the deities
Good.
on a regular basis. So it's just about everybody has service other than on Sunday.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, they all.
That's why I'm asking. In some temples, they only one block away, they live, and then they only come on Janmashtami day. I know. Or Radhastami, or Ramnavami, or Nishingha Chaturdasi, because they're so busy. So the more we worship the Lord in His Archa Vigraha form, then the more we'll be able to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. Becoming a Vaishnava devotee of the Lord is very rare. This is not so easily accomplished, especially in Kali Yuga, due to the degradation of the age. The conditioned souls are more absorbed in their bodily platform. Very rare to meet a devotee of the Lord. Very rare to see pure bhakti being engaged, being expressed or being done by a devotee. And definitely it's very rare also to see the Supreme Lord or have the Supreme Lord's darshan in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years ago, and 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna. In Kali Yuga, there's no more avatars coming. It'll be by the end of Kali Yuga, Kalki, where there's no more Haribol that time. As Prabhupada says, Haribol is only for the next 10,000 years. And after 10,000 years, no more Haribol. It'll be horrible. It'll be very degraded that people will live underground. No more water, no more sugar, practically nothing to eat. It is described in the 12th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam how the future where we are right now, Kali Yuga, will be. And this is another 427,000 years more to go. Only 5,000 years have passed, and we still have a long ways to go. But for the next 10,000 years, the age is called the Golden Age. And one pujari from Shira Mayapur, actually the two brothers, Pankajangri Prabhu, who left his body during COVID, and now Janardan Prabhu, who is traveling all over North America for the next few months. They said that when the temple of Vedic Planetarium will be inaugurated, then that is the start of the 10,000 years. The Golden Age. So, ultimately, the process of bhakti is not so easy because of our contamination and we are being attached in this bodily platform. But this is the process to develop Krishna consciousness, especially worshipping the Lord in His Archa Vigraha form and also the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Yuga Dharma for this age, Kali Yuga. If there's anything good in Kali Yuga, it is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Prabhupada says there is nothing good in Kali Yuga. Even good is not good enough. Even good is bad. Because there is no pure goodness in the material world. Only when one performs bhakti, then one can attain pure goodness. And the Vaishnava is beyond the modes of material nature. So that's why it is very rare to meet a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord who does not have any bodily designations. No upadhi. I was talking with His Holiness Bir Krishna Maharaj this morning, how to maintain being sannyas, because he just celebrated his 45th sannyas anniversary the other day. And he told me that I don't consider myself as a sannyasi. I don't consider myself as a GBC. I don't consider myself as a guru. I just consider myself as a servant. Whatever Krishna and Srila Prabhupada instruct him to do, he will do as a servant. He can say, he told me he can mop the floor, clean the washroom, no problem. Are we ready to do that? Mop the floor and clean the washroom? Or say, no, Prabhuji, that is not my service. Vaishnava will do everything what is needed to be done. I've seen some sannyasis still nowadays that they will clean. They will mop the floor when no one is around. Others, they just want to show that they're cleaning because they want to be recognized or they want to be praised. Oh, this devotee is genuine, he's doing nice service. I asked one devotee, how, Hare Krishna, Hari. It's still okay. It's just cutting off. One's Krishna consciousness will be tested when you are alone. Remember this. One's Krishna consciousness can be tested when you are alone. Because one may say, oh, I'm alone, so I can do anything and everything. But Krishna is always with us. So the qualities of a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada are far beyond our present grasp. Out of humility, Srila Prabhupada came to America at the ripened age of 70 years old. That is the time of retirement. According to the Vedic culture, 70 years old means time of retirement. Actually, Prahlad Maharaj says at the time of 50, that is Vanaprastha. One should go to the forest and dedicate oneself to be more focused, to be more absorbed in Krishna consciousness. But it's very difficult to follow that in Kali Yuga. That Vana means Vrindavan. I traveled all over the world and I've seen many devotees, they want to live in Vrindavan. Ultimately. But it's very difficult because they have so many responsibilities, especially their children are growing up. They have to work hard to maintain and sustain their family so that family, especially the children, will be educated and ultimately, if they have daughters, they have to be married and the sons, they have to be married. So sometimes they're caught up in such a way that they cannot go. But they're planning, they want to go. And some of them are crying, Maharaj, I'm stuck. Like I met one devotee in Abu Dhabi, in the Emirates. He says, I've been here, Maharaj, for 40 years. And I cannot get out. My mother is in Vrindavan. What to do? I am stuck. I made a wrong decision. He kind of like invested in some kind of some program and he's not able to keep up. So we have to plan ahead of time. Ultimately, part of our life, because karma is like, it goes segment by segment by segment. Once our karma is already like finished on a certain segment, because karma is temporary, according to the Bhagavad Gita. But don't create more karma. A Vaishnava, or the aspiring Vaishnava, like us, we're not Vaishnava yet. Being a Vaishnava is very rare. It's not cheap to be a Vaishnava. We have to pay the price. Ultimately, full surrender. Everything, mind, body, words, and our very self to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord and the Spiritual Master. So as much as possible we should try, because that is our goal. So Srila Prabhupada had made it so simple to attain this level whereby we can become Vaishnava one day. He knows the limitations, he knows the shortcomings, especially he knows the modes of nature in the West, that he, as an acharya, he adjusted things so that we can follow the process. And still we're finding it very difficult. There will be no more lesser standard. When we say standard, we have to follow that way. That is the level whereby if one follows the standard, he will make progress. If he cannot follow the standard, then there's no way of making progress to be a Vaishnava. Following the four regulative principles and chanting minimum of 16 rounds every day. Performing sadhana bhakti. There are three types of bhakti: sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, and prema bhakti. There is no shortcut to prema bhakti. This is our goal. Our goal is to achieve love of God. Yes?
Yes.
Our goal is not just to follow four regulative principles and chant minimum rounds. That is just the bare minimum. And no more previously, or like no more in the future that it can be lower than that. Nowadays there are spiritual institutions says, oh, you can only chant 4 rounds, is okay. Some say like that. Or some says, oh, okay, if you have time to chant, then you chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Yes, that exists. No. At least to follow the four regulative principles is a human form of life. And to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that will come to the platform of pure goodness. So it says here in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, the qualities of a person who is dear to Lord Krishna. Okay. So these are the qualities of a devotee. When Prabhupada says in the books that he wrote, a devotee, that means a pure devotee. When he says a neophyte devotee, that is a neophyte devotee. But when he says a devotee is like this, that means a pure devotee. First, one who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. He for whom no one is put into difficulty, and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipped in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me. One who is neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me. One who is equal to friends and enemies. Prabhupada says in the purport of the 12th chapter, text 13 and 14, one should not be an enemy of his enemy. A devotee may have enemies because sometimes, Prabhupada says, when one makes progress in Krishna consciousness, the neophyte devotees becomes envious. They want to pull him down to the same level as they are. This is the nature of the neophyte. Neophyte devotee means he only sees Krishna and himself. And he has so many material desires to be fulfilled. Like a Christmas shopping list. Huh? Christmas time. Okay, my daughter wants this, my son wants this, I want that. And then he will have that list and he will pick, okay, this is done, this is done, this is done. A neophyte doesn't see the envious. A neophyte doesn't see the devotee. The other devotees, who are real, genuine devotees. But actually, he will say, why is this devotee always chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Why is this devotee always talk about Krishna? Why is this devotee always doing service? Instead of asking the devotee, how can I be like you? He will make obstacles for that devotee to continue. This is the mentality of a neophyte devotee. He's envious. Envy means I see something that the other person has, and I want to have the same thing that he has, but more. And I will do anything and everything to have it, to attain it. Huh? The materialists are like that. Prabhupada says the materialists are envious of each other. Yeah? Prabhupada says that's why we are still in this material world, because we are envious. If a materialist neighbor saw that, oh, he's driving a Lexus, let me get a BMW. He wants a little bit more, but what is he accomplishing though? He just wants to be a better person than the other person, which he may not need it. I know one devotee who was driving his car, old car, for like 20 plus years. The same car. He's satisfied. Because we use everything for Krishna's service. We're not here to show that I am better than everyone. So, we should not be an enemy of our enemy. Because the devotee doesn't have any enemy. But he does not want to create enemies. But due to envious mentality, jealousy, one becomes like an enemy of the other person who is doing bhakti. Something okay, bro?
Yes, ma'am.
Modern technology? What's the issue now?
Devotees online are complaining the sound is not.
You're changing the.
Is it me or
No.
the computer?
It's the
or
computer.
the microphone or what? It's okay now. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. See, the non-devotees, they are envious of each other. And they're also envious of the devotees. Because they will say, how come they're all look always happy? Early in the morning, they start jumping up and down. They don't need to drink coffee to be awake early in the morning. Because we get up early in the morning. That is the best time for, the most conducive for spiritual practice. Brahma Muhurta hour. 1.5 hours before sunrise. What time is the sunrise in North Carolina?
6.
Huh? 6? So you must be up before that. 4:30? Very good. If you can, 4:30, and by 5 o'clock, do your Mangal Arti. The Guru Vastakam, worship of the Lord in his Archavigraha form. If you don't have deities at home, pictures also is good. There is no difference between the pictures of Lord Krishna and his Archavigraha form. Tulsi Arti and chant your rounds. It can be 2 or 4, or if you can, 16 in one sitting, Srila Prabhupada says. Or if you're falling asleep, then you can walk, pace yourself. Like Srila Prabhupada, there is one video of Srila Prabhupada chanting, and he was walking in his quarters in Los Angeles. Yeah? It's nice meditation. So, a materialist is envious of the devotees. Just like in Los Angeles, we have a big congregation, devotees who live around the temple area. And they will say, how come you have so many cars? You have so many cars, and you all your disciples, they all look bright faced. They look all very happy. Prabhupada says, yes, because we're worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead and we're chanting Hare Krishna. So why don't you join us? Huh? And Prabhupada says, the neighbor says, no, that we cannot do. But they are envious. We have many material facilities, but we use them for Krishna's service. Whatever we have is what we call Yukta Vairagya. Are the devotees envious of the materialist?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Oh, right. Otherwise, if you're envious of the materialist, then there's a problem. There's a big problem. Sometimes are the devotees envious of another devotee? Yes.
Yes.
What do you mean no? You are a very high caliber devotee. Sometimes devotees are envious of another devotee. Why? Why? Out of false ego. Out of position. When they see another devotee really making progress, as we made the statement earlier, he wants to. In the spiritual world also, Prabhupada says there is envy. Yeah? But that envy is not material envy. In the spiritual world, there is a competition of the associates. Because in the spiritual world, there are the right-wing gopi and the left-wing gopi. The left-wing gopi headed by Srimati Radharani. And the right-wing gopi headed by Chandrabali. But both would like to serve Krishna. Radharani, being a left-wing, not submissive. And Krishna like that. The right-wing devotee headed by Chandrabali is submissive. But both are giving pleasure to Lord Krishna. That sometimes Srimati Radharani and when Krishna, both of them have a meeting time, and Krishna will not come on time. Because Krishna has been diverted to meet Chandravali. And it's time now to meet. and he will be late. Now, Lalita, she is the guru of Radharani when he comes. Shiksha Guru says, this is what you should do, okay? When he comes, behave yourself. Behave yourself. You should not show that, you're so eager to meet him. And Lalita will say, when he comes, we're not going to let him in. We're going to tell him to go away. But this is a different kind of anger or a different kind of mood. This is transcendental. Actually, in the spiritual world, Krishna, he prepared that he becomes subjugated, like overpowered by his devotees, more than him being superior. So the devotees of the Supreme Lord has the mood of always humility. They don't want to say, I am better than anybody else. This is Srila Prabhupada's mood. Whenever he will be praised, whenever he will be glorified, what will he say? It is only due to the mercy of my spiritual master. He will always give the credit to his own Guru Maharaj. A proud devotee is the opposite. Oh yes, you should praise me. I want to be recognized. Just like sometimes in Vrindavan, not all of them, someone will give some amount of donation and they will say, hey, don't forget to mention my name, okay? Please, you better mention my name in the announcement. Because if you don't, I may not give donation again. They want to be praised because that is the nature of the conditioned soul. To be praised, to be recognized. But sometimes we should praise devotees. Sometimes we should recognize devotees, especially if they work hard. That is the time that we should recognize them. If it's only doing one time, and they want to be known, I've read in the Shastra that if someone gives a donation and their donation, the person who's giving the donation will say, please don't mention my name. Please, whatever happens, don't say my name. You've met some devotees like this?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
They will get more credit. They will get more credit. More than the one who says, Prabhu, if you don't mention my name, okay? You are going to be in big trouble. Sometimes during festival, I have like a long list of names to be mentioned. And I told them, forget it. I'm not going to mention all of these names. I will say, Your Lordships, you know all of them. There's no need. Ultimately, but to encourage others sometimes when it's, like very few. But, he gives like 1,000 rupees. What is 1,000 rupees? It's not much, really. Only in Vrindavan you will hear that we are mentioning the names sometimes of the donors. Nowhere else, unless they give over 1 lakh or something. Even in Mayapur, do they give the names of the devotees? No. So, it is this conditioning that makes us not able to make progress in Krishna consciousness, but especially if we commit Vaisnava Aparad. When aparad means no Radharani. Radha. No Radha. No Radha means no bhakti. When we offend a Vaishnava, it is not, when we say Vaishnava, that means genuine Vaishnava, he doesn't take the offense. Why? Because he's beyond the bodily concept. But if a Vaishnava is there and you offend another Vaishnava, he will get angry. Yes?
Yes.
Or if someone offends, criticizes the Vaishnava or their lordships, he will get angry. He will defend the Lord and his devotees. Now, when someone offends the devotee, he doesn't feel the harm. He doesn't become angry. Who feels the pain? Krishna. Because within the heart of the devotee, Krishna resides. And within the heart of Krishna, the devotees reside. So when we offend a devotee, Krishna is the one who feels the pain. That ultimately, the only solution is to ask forgiveness from the devotee. I know I had many, in the past. And this is the last thing that I do not want to do in Vrindavan. I've been staying in Vrindavan for the last 20 years now, 21 years. There are two things, sin and offense. They're not the same. Sin can be atoned. It's like the Christians. They perform or they commit sin, and then on the day of going to the church, they will talk to the priest. They will confess. That's the word. They confess to the priest, and the priest will give them some kind of atonement to get relieved of that sin. Chant the holy name of the Lord also. Isn't it? But when we commit Vaishnava Paran, there is no such thing as chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to be able to get rid of that offense. We have to ask forgiveness. And at times, I know if I say something, that's why we have to be careful with our words. Because usually, the words is quicker than the mind. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, of all the senses, the tongue is the most difficult to control. Offenses starts from the mind, and then the tongue, and then it becomes physical. I know when I commit an offense, this is not intentionally, but if I say something to another devotee and I can see and I can feel that the devotee was hurt, I also feel pain inside. My heart becomes heavy. And then immediately I will connect to that devotee and ask for forgiveness. This is what I will do. I will not let the day pass. Even within 1 hour, 2 hours, because I know that I commit an offense to that devotee. And the devotee, if you do that immediately, more likely you'll be excused. You'll be forgiven. Because a genuine devotee also doesn't take offenses. So he will say, no, you didn't do anything. It's okay. Nothing to worry. But a neophyte devotee, okay, get out of my way. I don't accept your apology. He says, go. He will take grudge for the rest of his life. Sometimes some devotees are like that in the neophyte stage. They will take it so seriously, they will not accept any. So what do you do? What do you do if that happens? You ask for forgiveness, and the other person say, yeah, it's okay. It's like, it's okay. That means just trying to get rid of you. Have you seen devotees like that? Because it is easier to ask forgiveness than to forgive. It is easier to ask forgiveness. But when we ask for forgiveness, it must be genuine. It must be like really in our heart that I'm sorry, I commit an offense. In Kali Yuga, if someone commits an offense or think of sinful activity with the mind, it is not considered as a sin or an offense. But we must be careful. We should have a radar detector. Well, we think as long as we have this body and we're not purified, there is always a tendency to commit mistakes, to be in illusion. Our senses are imperfect and always a tendency to cheat others. This is the nature of the conditioned souls. So, if somehow we detected that I must have committed an offense, to the mind, immediately try to disqualify that by not thinking, because this starts from the mind, trying to criticize. I have a list here. Ultimately, it is because of envy. It says, envy is childish and has nothing to do with Vaishnava mentality. A devotee who is filled with Krishna consciousness is often the object of another devotee's envy. I try to remember, I'm saying many things here. Okay? Envy comes from our material desires, and it comes from frustration at our own failure. So how to get rid of this? Therefore, devotees have to cultivate honesty. We should be straightforward in our dealings. No pretensions. Not being a hypocrite. Be humble. Instead of becoming envious. A devotee must realize the universal presence of the Lord. By practicing to see everyone in equal vision, he will eradicate the envious mentality from within. By seeing Krishna within the heart of everyone, then envy will not be there. Being envious of the devotee means being envious of Krishna. Ultimately. And that's why we're still here in the material world, because of this envy. Actually, this is the thickest part of the anartha. Envy. We can get rid of lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion. But envy very difficult. It is the thickest of them all. But Prabhupada says, yes, in ISKCON is compared to a hospital. Everyone is sick. So we should respect everyone, even those who are envious. Try to still offer respect to them, but in a distance. Don't associate with them. Otherwise, if someone is always in the mood of criticizing others, and you hear them criticizing others, and you don't do anything, then you also get contaminated and you become like them. If someone starts to criticize others, you say, Prabhuji, I like your association very much, but as soon as I hear you criticize others, I'm sorry, I have to be like a little bit, be frank, be truthful, tell him, Prabhuji, I don't want to hear any criticism. I don't want to hear any blasphemy of others. I am so neophyte, and if I hear there more and more, there's no hope for me. So if you are going to talk about Krishna, talk about how can I improve my sadhana, how can I be more Krishna conscious. But if you start talking about others, a person who talks about others, guaranteed, if you hear them talking about others, guaranteed that he is also talking about you to others. Okay? Guaranteed. And I try to avoid that in Vrindavan. It doesn't matter. I may be, it may seem like, I become his enemy. I don't care. I will avoid that kind of person. And I can feel that this person, he knows my mood now. I don't entertain whatever he tells me. Because others, they don't have anything to do except to criticize. Others, they don't have anything to do. That's why they're always criticizing. This is what he called prajalpa. Gram kata. Village talk. Try to avoid these kind of personalities because they cannot help you in any ways. No way. So, respect everyone, even those who are envious, but do not associate with them. Show yourself as a good example so that he may follow. Analyze what they say so that we can also learn from them. You can learn many things from hearing, but you must hear from the right source. But even those who are not so spiritually inclined, you can learn from them not to be like them. Okay? Don't be in such a way that because they're acting in the wrong way, so you learn, okay, no way, I'm not going to follow him. By attaining of Suddha Bhakti or loving service of Godhead, the devotee does not wish for any other engagement, does not fear from anything, does not envy any object, does not enjoy sensually, and does not endeavor for anything mundane. He is in the Brahma Bhuta platform. No more hankering for what he doesn't have, and no more lamentation for what he lost. Nasochati nakamshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim lavati param brahma bhuta pasanatma. And as Prabhupada says, there are two kinds of living entities, the envious and the non-envious, or the cheaters and the cheated. A sadhu is tolerant, merciful, and a friend to all, therefore he is favored by Krishna. Devotees are compassionate. There is no envy. Like Prahlad Maharaj, he was given so much pain and sufferings by his father, the king of demons. But in the end, when Lord Nrsimhadev asked for any benediction, he's ready to give him any benediction. No envy in Prahlad Maharaj, who is a Mahabhagavat, topmost devotee of the Supreme Lord, one of the Mahajans. He says that I want everyone to be liberated, including my father. This is the mode of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is like that. He's in the mood of Lord Brahma and Prahlad Maharaj to save everyone. Prabhupada also says, I have the desire to liberate the entire universe. He said that when he was in the Philippines. His desire is not just to liberate the entire planet. That's why he is the genuine Jagat Guru, the universal teacher. Many of his god brothers also were envious of Srila Prabhupada, of him. He was asking help from the god brothers and no one helped him. And when he was passing by, going to Mayapur, his god brother says, oh, he did not even stop where the Samadhi of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Prabhupada says, I never for any moment have thought that my Guru Maharaj, that I'm always with my Guru Maharaj, or my Guru Maharaj is always with me. I'm always thinking of my Guru Maharaj. So, no one wanted to help him. He asked for help. He became the most blessed by his Guru Maharaj to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Okay, I'm going to finish in this way. That again, like Prahlad Maharaj, we should be in the same mood. We should pray to Lord Nrsimhadev to sit in the core of our heart and uproot all of our anarthas so that we become peaceful, worship the Lord, and bring peace to the entire world. Hare Krishna. I mentioned many things. Are there any questions?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, sir.
I have one question. So, thank you so much for the beautiful lecture, Maharaj. So, if I am being envious of somebody else,
If you are being envious of somebody else,
is there a way I can be conscious and know that it's happening to me, like I am being envious? Because most of the time I could be ignorant and I'll probably get carried away.
well, usually you will not be able to tell. You cannot even see your eyelid. It's right in front of you. But if there is some prasadam in your face, you cannot even also see. Another devotee will say, hey Prabhu, you have prasadam here. Yeah? You've seen some devotees telling you?
Yes.
Hey Prabhu, you have some, tilak here or somewhere. This is a genuine devotee. So you should search for a genuine devotee whom you can reveal your heart. A real friend. BFF. You know what's BFF? Best friend forever. And that friend can be in India. That friend can be in New York. That friend can be anywhere, within reach by WhatsApp. Okay? You can ask that friend, Prabhuji or Mataji, do you see something in me that I need to improve? Is there anything that's lacking that I have to make up for it? And a genuine friend can slap your face, right side, left side, and you will say, thank you very much. Huh? A genuine friend can correct you and you will be thankful. Okay? Don't keep everything to yourself. You have to search at least one friend, real friend in bhakti. The non-devotees, they're only good friend if you have something. A genuine devotee, even if you don't have anything, your friend is still a friend. That is the test. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Okay? We can judge the quality of a man by how much envy he has in his heart. Whoa. See, I wrote this long time ago, these notes. In Vrindavan. These are my notes in Vrindavan. Before I used to write notes. I still write. So when you read Srila Prabhupada's books, you should also write something that cuts you. And that will be your own. And whenever there is some doubts, you just read your notes and everything will become clear. Not just read for the sake of reading. We should actually dive deeper in Srila Prabhupada's books. This is our only solace when in times of trouble and hardships. In times of trouble and good times. Both ways. Anything else?
We have a situation.
We have a situation.
Certain personalities are placing really bad,
This is on.
really difficult, really offensive,
Difficult to deal with.
offensive statements on a public forum, Facebook, whatever, criticizing so that everyone can read it about ISKCON or things that happen.
So, what to do? Avoid them. That's why if you read Srila Prabhupada's books, you can tell the difference if some statements are written which is against Srila Prabhupada's teachings. That's why Prabhupada says, don't even listen to my God brothers. Because if they say something different from what I said, you'll be confused. And in Krishna Balaram Mandir, he says, there's no need for the devotees to go outside of the four walls of the Krishna Balaram Mandir to hear from others. And if you really want to hear from others, why don't you give the class yourself? One may say, oh no, why do I have to hear again and again the same teachings? No, we cannot even go beyond the bodily platform and we want to talk about Radha Krishna Lila. It is very subtle. Those who wish to propagate other teachings which is not in accordance with Srila Prabhupada's teachings, you should be very, very sharp. Immediately discard those books. That's why we should only read Prabhupada's books. There's no need. Prabhupada says, I gave everything in my books. And these books are not written by me. These books are written by Krishna. Where can you find that? Others are speculation. Isn't it? You go to Loy Bazaar, this place called Rasa Bihari Lal. Boy, you go there, it's like so many books. It's like a kid going inside a candy store. It's like, wow. But we cannot even read Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Unlimited books to read, but we only need Prabhupada's books. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So many. So be careful, okay? Once you detected that there's something wrong with this, minimizing Srila Prabhupada's teachings, immediately discard it. You can burn it. I give you the approval. Burn it immediately. There is no offense. That's garbage, actually. Any other question? Yes. Don't turn it off. Keep it on.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for that. Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much.
You know what? Prabhu is the highest. Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya Prabhu. This is temporary designation, as Bir Krishna Maharaj says, okay?
Thank you so much.
That's okay, no problem.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you for the lecture. If I myself am impure and envious.
You yourself is?
Impure and envious.
Okay.
And I'm only trying to get better in my bhakti.
Okay.
Then how can I expect perfection out of my association who's also just trying to get better in bhakti? If I'm expecting from them something that even I'm struggling to give right now, isn't that hypocritical of me? Yeah, I can't give any more than I'm giving.
Yeah, so you must avoid your association. Those who are envious. If you know that they're talking about nonsense, as we mentioned this already, be respectful but avoid them. Give your respect in a distance. Obeisances must be there still. And try to associate to those devotees who are more advanced than you are. Look for them. They're available. But it takes one to know one. How do you find them? You have to read Srila Prabhupada's books. In Prabhupada's books, the description of a genuine devotee are clearly stated. That's why in the beginning we read those who is very dear to me. Right? Chapter 12. The shortest, one of the shortest chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. You learn so much from that. Title is Devotional Service. So much knowledge in that. People say, oh, this is elementary. Bhagavad Gita. I don't want to read any more Bhagavad Gita. They cannot even understand the simple knowledge. So look, as I said, look, search Krishna will lead you to that person. If Krishna sees some sincerity in your heart, you're trying, you're endeavoring, your effort, they're available also. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj.
How about this side? Any question here? You must have a question. Come on. This is a very interesting topic. Oh yeah, I know. You're all free from envy. Don't turn it off, as I said. Just keep it as it is. It's already on. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hello.
No, say hello. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Conditioned so got used to the same word.
Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. So I have a question. You touched upon it, and then I thought you were going to expand on it. One is the Christian definition of sin.
Yeah.
When you said lust, greed, and everything.
Yeah.
Envy,
The sin can be atoned. The sin, we mentioned that. The sin can be atoned. It is almost synonymous, but offense is a little bit greater.
Right. So the offense, the category of offense, that's what I was trying to touch upon. Because you said
There are different offenses. There are many kinds of offenses. There is dam aparad, offenses in the holy dam. When you go to the holy dam for making money, right now there are many who would like to exploit Vrindavan for paisa, for rupiah, or to see the Damvasis as ordinary men. There is also Seva Aparad. Seva Aparad pertains to the worship of the deities. To think of the deities as made of stone and metal, that is an offense. Or to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is what we call Nama Aparad. To be inattentive while chanting. There are 10 offenses which we recite every day to remind us to avoid them. There is Jiva Aparad, that means offenses to other living entities. There is Vaishnava Aparad. All of those offenses can be nullified by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra or reading one chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Like when you perform Artik or do Seva or Shishirada, Golokananda. Nevertheless, the offenses in an impure state is unavoidable. One can chant more Hare Krishna or a chapter from the Bhagavad Gita. We mentioned this already. No? Only the Vaishnava Parad, you cannot chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra alone. You have to ask for forgiveness from that devotee. And devotee who is pure in his heart, he doesn't take offenses. But we should not take advantage of that devotee, being very kind, compassionate, and merciful. Prabhupada says, I will only give 4 chances. Then you're strike out. But still, he will still forgive. He never rejects any disciples. Never. This is how deep the mercy and compassion nature of Srila Prabhupada. For the neophyte, he will not forgive so easily. Yes?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much for the katha. Like when we talk about the envy and we are asking for forgiveness, that's more reactive in itself. You know, you've done the aparadh,
Yeah.
and then you're asking for forgiveness.
Yes.
So it's after, you know. So is there a way, or what can you do to reduce those aparadhas from committing itself? So is there a way where you can reduce?
You can why reduce? Not to commit.
Yeah,
Not to commit.
Yeah. So how can you?
We already mentioned you should always be in a humble state of mind. Be always humble. Be always appreciative of others. Be always respectful of others. Be always genuine in your dealing with others. Be always truthful, not pretender. If you're in that mode, and if you see everyone in equal vision, as Krishna, as Paramatma, present within the heart of that devotee. One thing I mentioned in Hudson, ISKCON Hudson in Jersey City, don't measure others' bhakti according to your standard. Remember this. Don't measure others' standard or bhakti according to your standard. Usually we measure, you know the defects? You should not look for the defects. You should look for the good side. You know a rug? Where we wipe our feet. You know how is it made? It's like lengthwise and horizontal wise, right? If you said this rug is dirty, or this part of the rug is dirty, and you try to take out all the dirty part, what's going to happen? There's no rug to wipe your feet. But the rug has a use. It may be dirty, right? But what is the use of the rug? To wipe your dirty feet. Always look on the good side of others. You may be having a high standard, and others may be not up to your standard. That is not their disqualification to do bhakti. You pray for them is one thing also. It's like Prahlad Maharaj. Look at him. He still asks Lord Nrsimhadev for Hiranyakashipu to be saved. How much more deep his compassion. His father tried to kill him. But the son says, no, you should also be saved. I mentioned many things already.
Sorry, Maharaj, can I ask
Okay, no problem.
is like you talked of a lot of qualities from that perspective, but let's assume you don't have those. You're not being humble. You're not, you don't have those qualities and things like that, and you're not able to see all of that. Or then what I'm asking is there a way to develop those?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When you chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all the good qualities of the demigods will manifest in your heart. Now, is there anything after that? The Hare Krishna Maha Mantra solves everything. There is nothing that the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra will not be able to solve. But you must have faith in the holy name. That is the key though. You have to have faith. You have to chant. I cannot chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for you. You have to do it yourself. There you go. Confirmed.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay?
Right.
Anything else before we conclude? I hope everything is clear. You're able to understand a little bit. You want to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. We all want to make advancement in Krishna consciousness, right?
Yes.
We cannot just remain forever as what we are. We always want more and more. That's why we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And don't just be comfortable chanting and reading. You should also do practical service. Otherwise, later on, it'll be boring. You'll say, oh, I'm only chanting Hare Krishna. I don't feel making any advancement. I've heard that you have Harinam here every Saturdays, like downtown Raleigh or Hillsboro. We passed by there this morning. They gave us a tour. It took us 10 hours to go to No, it's very. This is our life. Sankirtan, help in spreading Krishna consciousness. Whatever you can do, always carry books with you. During the day, I'm sure, even if you distribute one book, Srila Prabhupada's book, a small book, to anybody, that could make a change for that person for good and to go back home, back to Godhead. Especially, there is the statement, Manushanam, or was that those who took birth in Bharat, what was that verse? Bharat Upakar, right? That those who took birth in Bharat, I love my India. They have this t-shirt, I love my India. I love my India means you should distribute Bhagavad Gita. You took birth in the land of Dharma, and it is your duty to spread Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma. Okay? Then if you can make only one devotee, even just one devotee, guaranteed you go back home, back to Godhead. Okay, we stop here now. Sukriya. Srila Prabhupada K. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Hare Krishna. Oh, Aditya is calling. Who is Aditya? Okay, we stop here. Thank you for your kind association. Hari Hari. What's next?